Have you ever woken up in the morning, sat at the edge of your bed, and felt that your body simply doesn't move the way it used to? Maybe it takes a little longer to stand up. Your legs feel heavier. Your breathing isn't as deep. Or even something more private, the desire to be close to your partner just isn't there like it once was. Not because the love is gone, but because your body doesn't seem to respond the way it used to. If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. For more than 2 decades, I've worked with thousands of men over 60, and I keep hearing the same story. I'm tired all the time. I can't sleep like I used to. I don't feel like myself anymore. Many of these men assume that it's just age, something that can't be changed. They say things like, well, this is just part of getting older, isn't it? But what if I told you that's not entirely true? What if I told you that your body might actually be silently asking for something very simple, something you've been missing for years without even knowing it? See, feeling tired, losing muscle, having low drive, or even experiencing mood swings is often not about just aging. In many cases, it comes down to one thing: nutrient deficiencies. Your body is like an engine, and when it doesn't have the right fuel, it can't run at full power. Over time, that lack of fuel leads to fatigue, weaker muscles, restless sleep, poor circulation, and yes, even changes in your intimate life. The good news: you can fix it. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 essential vitamins and minerals that can completely change how you feel. These are simple, science-backed nutrients that can help you sleep deeper and wake up refreshed, boost your energy and mental focus, support healthy testosterone and circulation, feel stronger, more confident, and even closer to your partner. Again, and here's the best part: it doesn't require an extreme workout, expensive medications, or complicated changes. With the right information and a simple daily routine, you can start reclaiming the energy, confidence, and vitality you thought was gone. Stay with me to the end, because I'll also reveal the most common mistakes men make with supplements and weight, and how to avoid them so you don't waste time, money, or effort. Because being 60 plus isn't the end. It's the start of a new, stronger chapter of your life. I still remember the day Mark walked into my clinic. He was 65, a retired carpenter, strong hands that had built homes for decades, but his eyes told a different story. He looked exhausted, and his shoulders carried a weight heavier than wood or tools. He said quietly, "Doc, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm always tense, I toss and turn all night, and when I wake up, it feels like I haven't slept at all. And I don't feel close to my wife the way I used to. It's like something in me just shut down." For many men like Mark, this is a familiar pattern. They reach a point in life where they've done all the right things, worked hard, raised a family, tried to eat okay, but suddenly their energy's gone. Their mood is off and their sleep is broken. When I looked at Mark's diet, lifestyle, and blood work, one thing jumped out immediately. His magnesium levels were critically low, and this is not uncommon. In fact, research shows that more than 60% of adults over 60 are magnesium deficient. Yet very few even know it. Why magnesium matters more than you think. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body. It helps your muscles relax, calms your nervous system, supports energy production, regulates your heartbeat, and even plays a role in testosterone balance. Without enough magnesium, you may feel muscle cramps, restless legs, or constant tension in your neck and back. Sleep becomes shallow and easily interrupted. You might wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and struggle to fall back asleep. Over time, poor sleep raises stress hormones like cortisol, which can lower testosterone and drain your energy even more. Think of it this way: magnesium is like the off switch that tells your body it's safe to relax. If you don't have enough, your body never fully shuts down. Even at night and without deep sleep, your body can't heal. Your hormones can't rebalance, and your energy can't be restored. How we fixed Mark's deficiency: we didn't do anything extreme or expensive. So we simply changed his habits and gave his body what it was missing. First, Had Mark start eating more magnesium-rich foods, dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, almonds and pumpkin seeds, whole grains, and fatty fish. Just adding a handful of pumpkin seeds or a serving of greens a day can make a real difference. Second, I recommended a magnesium glycinate supplement in the evening. Glycinate is one of the most absorbable forms and also calming for the nervous system, making it perfect before bed. Third, I taught him a 5-minute breathing routine each night. Nothing complicated, just slow breathing, focusing on relaxing his shoulders and jaw, to areas where men hold a lot of stress. Finally, we made one simple but powerful change. A. Warm bath with Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate, twice a week. It's not just soothing. It helps replenish magnesium through the skin and relaxes the muscles even further. 3 weeks later, Mark came back, and I could see the difference the moment he walked in. He looked taller, lighter, more at ease. His eyes had brightness again. He said, "I'm sleeping through the night, Doc. I wake up feeling rested." My wife noticed I'm calmer, more patient, and we're closer again. I feel like I got part of myself back. That's what magnesium can do, not just improve numbers on a lab test, but change the way you feel and connect with the people you love. You don't have to wait until you feel completely burned out to fix this. If you sleep okay now, adding magnesium-rich foods like spinach, almonds, cashews, avocado, or dark chocolate can support your health long-term. If you're already struggling with stress or poor sleep, consider a high-quality supplement, especially in forms like magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate if digestion needs support. Create an evening ritual that signals to your body it's time to relax. A short walk after dinner, turning off screens an hour before bed, a few minutes of slow breathing, and that warm Epsom salt soak. These things work together with magnesium to restore your natural rhythm. The bigger picture, here's the truth. Energy, strength, and intimacy don't disappear because you turn 60. They fade because, over time, small imbalances build up, like running your car low on oil and wondering why it doesn't run as smoothly. Magnesium is one of those oils for your body. Fixing it won't make you 25 again, but it can absolutely make you feel like a stronger, calmer, or confident version of yourself today. Mark's story isn't rare. Seen hundreds of men like him transform simply by restoring magnesium. And when magnesium is working together with the other nutrients we'll talk about, the results compound: better sleep, better blood flow, stable hormones, and a stronger sense of self. Remember, good sleep is not a luxury. It's the foundation of healing, energy, and even intimacy. And magnesium is the key to unlocking it. Paul was 67 when he came to see me. On paper, he was doing okay. He ate fairly well, stayed out of trouble, and occasionally worked in his backyard. But when I asked how he felt, his eyes told the truth. He sighed and said, "Doc, I'm tired all the time. My legs feel heavy, I don't move like I used to, and intimacy with my wife, it's not the same. It's like my body has a dimmer switch, and someone turned it way down." That kind of conversation is heartbreakingly common. Men in their 60s often assume that fatigue, sluggishness, and decreased performance are simply the price of aging. But often, it's not age, it's vitamin D deficiency. The silent role of vitamin D MOS to people think vitamin D is only about bone health. They're half right. Yes, vitamin D supports calcium absorption and keeps bones strong, but it does so much more. It helps regulate testosterone production. It supports muscle strength and coordination. It helps your body produce nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation, including 2 intimate areas. It strengthens the immune system and even supports mental health. Without enough vitamin D, if your blood vessels tighten, blood flow slows, and you may feel tired, depressed, and less responsive when intimacy calls. In other words, it's not just about bones, it's about vitality. The problem: as we age, our skin produces less vitamin D from sunlight. Many older men spend more time indoors or wear protective clothing, meaning they get very little natural sun exposure. Add in modern diets that are often low in vitamin D. And you have a recipe for deficiency. Paul's turning point when Paul's blood work came back. His vitamin D levels were very low. We built a plan to restore it, but instead of focusing only on pills, we started with sunlight, nature's free medicine, for just 15 minutes each morning. Paul would step outside, roll up his sleeves, and let the early sun hit his skin. No sunglasses, no sunscreen, just safe, gentle morning rays. It wasn't just about vitamin D. It was about reconnecting with a rhythm he hadn't felt in years. I also recommended adding more vitamin D-rich foods: salmon, mackerel, tuna, egg, yolks, and fortified dairy. And for those cloudy days or winter months, I gave him a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, not D2, which is less effective. The results 4 weeks later, Paul walked back into my office a different man. His energy was up. He had started gardening again, and with a grin, he told me, "My wife noticed, let's just say, things are working better." What happened? Improved vitamin D levels, increased his blood flow, boosted testosterone, and enhanced muscle function, all of which made him feel younger and more confident. His mood even lifted, which he hadn't expected. The bigger lesson you see. Vitamin D is like turning the lights back on inside your body. It fuels systems you can't see: hormones, circulation, energy production, but you feel the difference everywhere. Without it, even the best diet or workout plan can leave you struggling, and it's easy to fix. Spend time outdoors daily, even if it's just a short walk. Include vitamin D-rich foods regularly, and when needed, supplement with D3. It's simple, affordable, and safe, yet life-changing when you've been running on empty. Your action plan: morning sunlight, 10 to 15 minutes of early sun on your arms and face. This alone can make a big difference. Vitamin D-rich foods: add salmon, tuna, sardines, eggs, or fortified milk to your weekly meals. Supplement wisely. Choose a trusted vitamin D3 supplement, especially in winter or if you rarely get outside. Pair it with movement. A morning walk combines sunlight, circulation, and oxygen, a triple win for your body. The connection to intimacy and confidence. One of the most overlooked benefits of vitamin D is its link to nitric oxide production. This natural chemical is what helps blood vessels relax and allows proper blood flow, crucial for male performance and vitality. Many men don't realize that feeling disconnected or less of a man can often be tied to poor circulation, not just age. By restoring vitamin D, you're essentially restoring your body's ability to perform, recover, and feel strong. It's not a quick fix like a pill from the pharmacy. It's a foundational fix that works with your body instead of against it. Paul's story is just one example, but I've seen this transformation hundreds of times. Men who thought their best years were behind them. Men who accepted fatigue and frustration as just getting old. Find out it's not too late, because it never is. Vitamin D isn't just about sunlight. It's about bringing back your life force, your confidence, and your connection to your partner, your body, and yourself. Henry was 68 when he came to see me. A tall man with the kind of frame that once must have been strong and commanding, but now carried a heaviness in his posture. He smiled politely, but with tired eyes, and said, "Doc, I feel like I'm fading. I get sick all the time. My energy is low, and honestly, I don't feel like a man anymore." I've heard those words before, and they're never easy to say out loud. But what Henry was experiencing is far more common than most men realize. His story is one of slow decline, not sudden illness, but that steady, creeping loss of strength and desire of immunity and motivation. For Henry, the culprit turned out to be a deficiency in something small but critical. Zinc. Zinc isn't glamorous. You won't see commercials about it on TV, and most people don't think about it unless they're taking cold medicine. But zinc is an essential building block for testosterone production, immune function, wound healing, and even smell and taste. Without enough zinc, your body can't produce testosterone at normal levels, which means less energy, lower libido, and slower recovery from stress and exercise. Your immune system also weakens, which explains why Henry seemed to catch every little bug that came around. I asked him about his diet. Sure enough, he ate little seafood or red meat, which are prime sources of zinc. For years, he'd tried to eat light, thinking he was doing the right thing for his heart. But he unknowingly cut out one of the key minerals his body depended on. So we made a change, not drastic, but strategic. He started eating oysters or shrimp once or twice a week, added beef and pumpkin seeds into his meals, and took a high-quality zinc supplement daily. Just a few weeks later, Henry walked into my office with more color in his face and a spark in his eyes. "Doc, I don't know what's in those oysters, but I feel like I'm waking up again. Stronger. My wife says I'm smiling more, and let's just say things at home are better." Zinc didn't just fix numbers on a lab test, it gave Henry back part of his identity, the part that says, "I'm still strong, still a man." While Henry's main problem was zinc. Another patient, Robert, 72, showed me how deficiencies can compound. Robert sat in front of me and said, "I sleep well, I eat fine, but I'm exhausted all day. Can't focus. My memory slips, and by mid-afternoon, I just want to lie down." That kind of fatigue, despite rest, often points to something deeper. And for Robert, it was a lack of vitamin B12. B12 is the vitamin your body uses to create red blood cells, the carriers of oxygen, and to support nerve function and mental clarity. Without enough B12, it doesn't matter how much sleep you get. Your cells still don't have enough oxygen, and you feel like you're running on fumes all day. For men over 60, this is common because the stomach produces less acid with age, which means B12 from food isn't absorbed as well. Robert's diet wasn't terrible, but it lacked variety, little meat, few eggs, and almost no dairy. We switched him to a methylcobalamin B12 supplement, which is the form your body can use more effectively. And I encouraged him to add B12-rich foods like salmon, eggs, and lean beef. Within weeks, Robert's brain fog lifted. He laughed when he told me, "I'm not dozing off at 2 p.m. anymore. I'm actually taking my grandkids to the park, and when I get home, I still have energy left for my wife." She keeps asking what changed, and I tell her I'm finally awake again. What I love about these stories is that they're not about chasing youth with extreme measures or dangerous shortcuts. They're about restoring what the body actually needs to work properly. Zinc and B12 are small things that make a huge difference. When missing one fuels your hormones and immunity. The other fuels your energy and focus. Together, they rebuild the foundation of how you feel day to day. Imagine living your life constantly tired, disconnected, thinking that's just normal aging, then realizing it was never about age, but about being empty in two simple nutrients. For Henry, adding zinc meant feeling masculine and resilient again. For Robert, adding B12 meant mental clarity and energy to engage with his family and life. For both, it was like stepping out of a fog and remembering what it feels like to feel alive. That's the power of paying attention to these quiet deficiencies. If you felt run down, often sick, unfocused, or just not yourself, it's worth asking, could I be missing something simple? Because when zinc and B12 are optimized, you don't just improve lab numbers, you stand taller, you have more patience, you laugh more. And yes, intimacy and confidence often return naturally. The truth is, at 60 or 70, your body isn't broken. It's often just underfueled. Give it back what it's missing, and it can surprise you with how strong, clear-headed, and connected it can still feel. James was 70 years old, a retired pilot who had spent decades in the sky. Disciplined and sharp, trusted to guide passengers safely through storms and long journeys. On the surface, he looked like the kind of man who had life figured out. He still exercised 3 times a week, watched what he ate, and kept a routine that many younger men would envy. Yet, when he sat down in my office, his voice carried a hint of frustration and quiet disappointment. "I'm doing everything right, Doc," he said, "but I just don't feel like myself anymore. I'm slower, I'm tired, and, well, my doctor just isn't there." That kind of feeling can crush a man's confidence because it isn't about laziness or poor choices. It's about the body slowly changing under the surface. After running some tests, I noticed something often overlooked. James had low vitamin E levels. Many men think vitamin E is only for skin health or something women take for beauty. But the truth is, vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects your blood vessels, supports healthy hormone levels, and fights oxidative stress that silently ages the body from within. When oxidative stress builds up, it damages cells, stiffens blood vessels, and interferes with testosterone production. And testosterone is what gives men their strength, energy, and sense of masculinity. For James, we didn't need an extreme fix. We simply added foods rich in vitamin E, like almonds, sunflower seeds, olive oil, and dark leafy greens into his meals. I also recommended a natural vitamin E supplement, not the cheap synthetic kind often sold in bulk, but one that mimicked how vitamin E occurs naturally in food, so the body could actually use it effectively. 6 weeks later, James came back with a grin I hadn't seen before. "I feel younger," he laughed. "I have more energy in the morning, I sleep better at night, and even my wife said I seem more present. It's like I woke up from a long nap." That's the thing about nutrients, like vitamin E. You don't always notice you're missing them until you feel what life is like with them back in your system. But James's story doesn't end there. Because what we were really doing wasn't just restoring vitamin E. We were building synergy with the other nutrients we had already talked about: magnesium, vitamin D, zinc, and B12. Each of these nutrients plays its own role, but when combined, they create something greater than the sum of their parts. Magnesium relaxes your muscles, calms your nervous system, and helps you sleep deeply. Vitamin D improves circulation, supports your muscles, and boosts nitric oxide production for healthier blood flow. Zinc keeps testosterone levels steady and your immune system strong, while B12 delivers oxygen and energy to your cells, keeping your mind sharp and your body ready for action. And then vitamin E steps in like a silent bodyguard, reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, protecting the blood vessels that deliver all those nutrients and hormones where they need to go, and ensuring testosterone production isn't slowed down by cellular damage. When these 5 nutrients work together, the results are powerful. Men who once felt exhausted and disconnected often find themselves waking up with energy again, moving easier, thinking clearer, and even feeling confident in intimacy again. It's like tuning up every part of an engine: the battery, the fuel, the oil, the wiring, and finally hearing it purr smoothly instead of sputtering along. I've seen it happen over and over again. Men who thought they were simply getting old discover they were actually running low on the very building blocks their body needed to feel alive. Once they restore them through simple, consistent daily habits, they don't just add years to their life, they add life to their years. Vitamin E in particular is powerful because it often goes unnoticed. Many men never think about antioxidants or inflammation until it shows up as fatigue, weak erections, joint pain, or even low mood. But when you reduce that silent inflammation and protect your blood vessels, everything else works better. Your heart, your brain, your hormones even, your sleep. And when combined with magnesium, vitamin D, zinc, and B12, the effect is like lifting a heavy fog you didn't realize you were living in. James is proof of that synergy. He didn't become a bodybuilder or take risky shortcuts. He simply gave his body what it had been missing for years. The result? Better energy, calmer moods, a stronger sense of connection to his wife, and most importantly, a return of confidence. Not the cocky confidence of youth, but the quiet, grounded confidence of a man who feels strong in his own skin. Again, that's what this is all about. Not pretending you're 25 again, but becoming the best version of your age today. And that best version often starts not with drastic diets or expensive treatments, but with simple steps, adding the right nutrients, supporting your body's natural processes, and letting it do what it's designed to do: heal, perform, and thrive. Vitamin E may seem like just another supplement, but when combined with magnesium, vitamin D, zinc, and B12, it becomes part of a bigger picture, one that can restore the energy, drive, and connection you thought was long gone. Gerald was 74 when he walked into my office carrying a large plastic bag full of vitamin bottles, the kind you buy online because the advertisement promised instant energy and youth restored in days. He looked at me with a mix of hope and disappointment and said, "Doc, I've been taking all of this for months, but I still feel tired. I'm still forgetting things, and honestly, nothing's changing where it matters most." I emptied the bag on my desk, and what I saw was exactly what I've seen hundreds of times before: cheap synthetic supplements in forms the body can't absorb well. Vitamin D2 instead of D3, cyanocobalamin instead of methylcobalamin, and doses so inconsistent that his body never had a chance to stabilize. He was trying, but he was unknowingly doing what so many men do, thinking that simply swallowing pills, any pills, will fix the problem without looking at quality, timing, and consistency. I told Gerald what I tell every man: supplements are not magic. They are tools, and tools only work if you use them properly. That means choosing quality forms your body can actually use, and building a simple routine you can stick to every day, not just when you remember. And so, instead of the random handful of pills he had been taking, I gave him a routine built around the 5 nutrients we had worked through: magnesium for relaxation and sleep, vitamin D for circulation and vitality, zinc for testosterone and immune strength, B12 for energy and mental clarity, and vitamin E for protecting everything from the inside out. His routine was simple. In the morning, take B12 with a protein-rich breakfast and spend 10 to 15 minutes in the sun for natural vitamin D. At lunch, include olive oil, almonds, or sunflower seeds for vitamin E and zinc. And in the evening, take magnesium glycinate and do 5 minutes of slow breathing before bed. We added seafood twice a week and a short walk after dinner just to keep his circulation moving. That was it. No extreme changes, no dozens of pills, just the right forms, the right rhythm, okay, and the right mindset. A month later, Gerald returned with a smile I hadn't seen before. "I'm sleeping through the night. I'm waking up without that heavy fog. And my wife says I seem happier, more patient, more me," he said. That's the power of doing it right. Small, consistent actions, building into big changes, not overnight, but steadily and reliably. And that's what I want every man over 60 to know. You're not too old to feel strong again. You're not past the point of change. And you don't have to accept fatigue, low drive, and disconnection as just part of aging. Most of the time, your body is simply underfueled and out of rhythm. And when you give it what it needs, the right nutrients, consistent routines, and a bit of patience, it can still surprise you. So start today. Pick one nutrient, one habit, one change, and build from there. Your energy, your confidence, your connection to the people you love, they're waiting on the other side of that decision. Age is just a number, but vitality, intimacy, and joy, those are choices you can still make, starting now.